Impact Driven Entrepreneur, episode 71, how to validate your group coaching program idea so that it sells like hotcakes and that you don't waste any time or money in the process of launching your group program. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the Impact Driven Entrepreneur, the podcast that helps you expand your reach and convert that reach into clients so you can lead your tribe with confidence and create change in the world while living the life you desire. And now your host, certified business coach and consultant, Mariana Ruiz.
Impact Driven Entrepreneur, episode 70. Today we are talking about validating your business idea for your group program. And this is part of a multiple part series showing you how to create, launch, and scale your group program. And so go back to listen to part 1 if you haven't already, where we talked about how to select your topic for your group program. So what I want to start with here is really talking about why this is important so that you really understand the process. So the first thing you want to do is you want to actually pre-sell this program before you've completely built it out. I know this is a counterintuitive thing and you might be wondering, why would I do that? I won't feel prepared. I don't know what if all the things, right? All the what ifs are going to come up. And here's the thing, if you are coaching somebody one-on-one, would you give them all of their sessions and have every single session and every detail of every session planned out before you start coaching them? The answer to that is probably no. And therefore, why would you put the pressure on yourself to do that in a group setting? And instead, what if you could be paid to serve your people as you're creating your first round of group coaching? And so that is the number one premises. I've seen way too many people try to create all the content for their group program and then go to try to sell it, and then it doesn't sell and it doesn't validate. And so number one, it's very important that you have an idea of the flow of what you're going to cover, that you have definitely the transformation that your program's going to provide, what is point A and what is the end result, and that you give yourself the space, the room, and the creativity to make sure you validate that, meaning make sure you have sales for that program, that people have paid you to be in that program before you go ahead and actually take the time to create the whole program out. Because here's the thing, worst case scenario, you launch it and it doesn't sell, but if you just spent 3 months designing that program, you're out 3 months of your life. Instead, if you validate it and you say, here's the transformation that this program will offer you, we're going to build this together. We call this typically in the industry a beta launch or beta program. If you were to do it that way, you're not out any time. You can still pick back up next week and come up with a different offer or a different idea. And so, especially in the beginning, when it's the first time you're launching something, you definitely want to validate it. And that's the process we're going to talk about today. So number one, you're not going to create it until after you have sold it. So you might be asking, how am I going to get sales? I've never sold this before. So there's a few things about a beta launch. Number one, you want your beta launch to be a lower price point than the program will be. So if you're going to price your program at $2,000 or $1,000, you could do your beta program at say $500. It's like a discount, but it's also the first time you're running it and they're going to help you to create it with you. Now you will want to explain that to your people so that they are fully aware that they're going to be building this program with you. And you can ask for specific feedback. So I've actually been a part of some beta programs that have been really interesting. And one of them, interesting, that was quick, interesting. And one of them was cool because the woman said, I want you to attend a certain number of the live calls. I want you to do a questionnaire at the end. And we even had an amount of investment that she wanted us to make into our investment funds. It was a financial type of thing. And she wanted us to put a certain money into savings or into the stock market in order to be a part of this beta program. And so you can have requirements for your beta members to make sure that they are going to be engaged, that they're going to stay active, and that they are fully participating, and as well as you getting the information and data that you need and want for moving forward. So that is an option for you. The other thing about your beta program is that you want to launch your beta program and validate your idea with a minimal viable launch. So the first time you launch, I do not recommend that you throw everything at, like you do 5 different types of launches superimposed onto each other. And by that, I mean, like, I've seen people try to do a webinar and a challenge and a video series all to fill this one thing. And quite honestly, it gets to be too much if you do it that way. So you want to think about what is the minimum viable launch. And what I like to do is, especially for the first round, is actually sell it via phone calls or sell it via just text message. Depends on what the price point is of the program and how intricate the offer is, right? You could even do it via email. So I did a beta launch once where it was like a $50 beta launch, and I just sent out emails and like, boom, just filled it that way. So again, you want to be thinking about minimum viable launch. What is the least I can get away with selling this? And I love sales calls as an offering for that, because then you don't have to worry about having a sales page and what is the sales page going to say? And I'm still not 100% sure about that, right? So you can do it via sales calls. The other thing is, you might want to, especially if you're brand new or if you haven't done this in a while, is do some market research calls right before you do that. That will have give you the information about what to run your beta about, and will also help you to start that connection with some real people that can then therefore go into the program. And I have a blog post and a podcast on my page, impactdrivenentrepreneur.com, that teaches you the exact ways to make your next or first $1,000 in your business. And so you might want to go take a look at that. And even if you're not using it for making your first or your next $1,000, you can use that similar process for validating your idea, because that's what essentially you're going to be doing with this brand new group program. You want to make your first 1,000 in that group program, and it may be more, it may be 10,000, your goal may be 20, I don't know. But the point is, you can use that step-by-step process to get that going, okay? So go to the show notes section. It's going to be at impactdrivenentrepreneur.com/validate your idea. Or you could just Google, search it in my website for how to make your next $1,000. So that's the next piece about the beta. You want to do the minimum viable program launch. Okay. You want to make that as simple, as easy as you possibly can for yourself. And the next thing about the beta is give yourself the time and the space to do it. So once you get these people into the beta program, you're going to be building it with them. And so when I did it, it worked the best if I scheduled it as if it was a client in my business. And so I would really just schedule it out as if I had client calls, I'm going to be, creating the promotional post for this beta launch. I'm going to be creating all of this for the launch itself. Then I'm going to be creating the content with them. And these are the times I'm going to have the time slots to do it. And when I honored it like a client, it allowed for that to happen. And this is especially true if you're a coach or consultant with an existing business that you already have and you're like, I'm full. I don't know when I'm going to have time to do this. So those are my top tips for validating your idea and creating that first launch for your group program. So this is part of a multiple part series where last time we talked about selecting your topic for your group program, and therefore you should have done some market research, and therefore that's why this matches well with what you did last time. So in this part, what I really want you to really focus on now is actually offering to them that solution that you have custom created for your people. So you've already done the market research calls, you know what they're struggling with, you know what's going on with them, and now we just go and offer it to them. And that is how you're going to validate your idea. So thank you so much again for joining us for the session. We've talked about how to run a beta launch, why it's important, and how you're going to save tons of time and tons of money. We've talked about how using the beta launch process can help you to, and how to really make time for that, especially if you already have a full practice or if you have other clients in your business that you're serving. And next time we're going to be talking about how to actually go out there and sell this program. So, what is it going to look like on those sales calls, or what are those conversations going to look like? And I'm going to give you some shortcuts and some really tactical tips for making that happen and making that very doable. If you're not already, come and join us inside of the Challenges That Convert Challenge. We are hosting it inside of my brand new Facebook group. It's called the Coaching for Impact group. And we are talking all about challenges that convert, which, by the way, is one of the ways in which you could sell your program. We did talk about in this episode about how we don't want to throw every kind of, launch. We're doing the minimum viable launch, but a challenge launch is an excellent way for you to grow your list and to actually, sell your program for the first time, especially if you've done a challenge before or you've done other types of bigger type of launches and you're like, yeah, I want something that works, that's predictable, that I know that is going to get me the result. Well, a challenge launch can do all of those things for you. So join us at impactdrivenentrepreneur.com/challenge, and you can join the challenge still today and get in right away. So that is what I have for you today. Next time, like I said, we're going to be talking about selling the program, and I'm going to talk specifically about the types of things that you want to say on the calls, how you're going to structure your call to really make sure that you maximize the effort that you're putting into the selling of your program. Have an amazing, amazing day. I have a very special episode, by the way, as part of the series coming up that we are orchestrating in the background. It's going to be so much fun. So make sure you are subscribed to the show, that you're in the Facebook group so that you're getting all of the updates about what is going on over here at Impact Driven Entrepreneur so that you can really use this information to catapult your business forward. Okay, have an amazing day. Chat with you soon. Head on over to impactdrivenentrepreneur.com where you can find an arsenal of videos, blog posts, and previous podcast episodes to help you increase your profit and impact. Again, impactdrivenentrepreneur.com and click on blog. Enjoy.